So Bradford City have today completed their 10th signing of the 2025 summer transfer window as midfielder Nick Powell joins the club on a short-term contract following the termination of his deal with Stockport County. If you do go on to enjoy today's video, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, can we try and hit 200 likes on today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in on this edition down in the comment section down below. Now today's video is done as a pre-record. We've done a couple similar versions of this. Sometimes you get an instant reaction, sometimes you get a pre-reaction as well. But whenever the Stockport County journalist Sam Byrne is tweeting saying that a deal is done or it's looking likely, that pretty much means it is nailed on. He brought the Sarcevic news first, the Byrne news first, the Torre news first. We love signing a Stockport County man, but he tweeted on the 14th of August at 3 PM saying, with Nick Powell's departure from Stockport County in the offing, I understand that the 31-year-old is likely to join fellow League One side Bradford City. Powell signed in the summer of 2023, but will ultimately leave Ebbsfleet Park a year before the end of his 3-year deal. He is definitely leaving Stockport County this summer, and it looks quite likely his destination. I mean, if you've seen this video, it means it's confirmed, but it looks like he's going to join Bradford City. See, normally if Bradford City was signing a 30-plus-year-old who's massively injury prone, who's probably going to come on a big wage to the football club, I'd be thinking, what on earth is Bradford City playing at? But we're a different Bradford City since David Sharp has come into the football club, and he's not got a lot wrong in terms of signings, contract decisions, the big sort of decisions that you have to make. Since David Sharp has come to Bradford City, we've not really got many wrong, so I'm going to trust the club despite me having my concerns and reservations over this signing. I'm going to wait and see how it pans out before just immediately jumping down the throat and trying to criticise, because there is negatives, but if you get a fit and available Nick Powell, he's a good player for League One level still. But again, a lot of people will say, well, you might be lucky to get 5 games out of him this season, 10 games out of him at the absolute maximum, and that's obviously not ideal. And then when this news obviously getting broke, Bradford fans are, I would say, split on the news. You know, some people saying give him a chance, some people saying it should be on a pay-as-you-play. That sort of thing I just don't believe exists in football anymore. What it should be for me is an average League One sort of base salary. I don't really know what it is. You know, you're looking at League 2 probably around 1,500 quid, £2 a week as your average salary. But off the top of my head, I don't really know what that looks like these days in League 1. So let's say, for example, the average salary is £3,000 a week, but then his appearance bonus will be a lot higher than the average player, because when he's available, I do believe he will be a decent option for us. It's just that concern of, can we actually keep him available? Obviously, since Bobby Scarborough and I think Tom Eastwood have joined the football club as physio and head of performance, or whatever their official job titles are, our injury bill has been massively reduced, but specifically our muscular injury issues have been massively reduced, because there's nothing you can really do about an ACL or a foot fracture, you know, broken bones, all that sort of stuff. You can't really do much about that, but you can do a lot about hamstring injuries, calf injuries, groin injuries, these type of things. And for me, I don't really know what's wrong with Nick Powell's body, but I believe in our medical team to be able to at least bandage him up a little bit. Maybe not fix him, but you know, just kind of wrap him up in cotton wool a bit. If we have a look then at how Nick Powell got on at last season for Stockport County in League One, as they obviously finished 3rd in the table. Ibu Torre played over 40 matches in that team, and so far has proved to be a very good sign for Bradford City, not just defensively, but going forward as well. Scored a great goal against Blackburn on Tuesday. I'm hoping this video is going to come out and not in like 3 weeks' time, for example. But Nick Powell played a total of 7 league matches last campaign, starting 3 of them, where he played a total of 240 minutes, obviously 90 minutes in a game, so that's around 2 full matches and another 60 minutes on top of that throughout the entire campaign. Just over 2.5 full matches played, and obviously it was split over 7 games. He didn't score a goal, but he did register 1 assist, creating the 1 big chance as well. Defensively, he looks pretty solid with those statistics. He won 73% of his ground duels, 56% of his aerial duels, but he's not played enough football there to really comment on. So we go back to the campaign before that, where obviously Stockport County won the League 2 title in the 23-24 season, where we just missed out on the playoffs. He played 32 times that season, starting at 21 of those matches where he played a total of 1,668 minutes. He did manage to score 3 goals that campaign, which worked out as a goal every 556 minutes with a 7% goal conversion rate, so not the most clinical in terms of shots taken. He also did register a further assist in that campaign, so 4 goals in 32 appearances, 4 goal contributions, in 32 appearances. That's around 1 in every 8 matches, which is not particularly great. Defensively, again, his stats were not awful. I think he played... I'm pretty sure Stockport played a diamond in that season. I'm pretty sure he played as not the holding midfielder, not the attacking midfielder, but the 2 kind of wider sort of positions. Stockport fans, let me know down below if I am wrong there. But he had a 60% successful dribble rate. He won 61% of his ground duels, 61% of his aerial duels as well. Again, though, there's no denying, I don't think, the quality of Nick Powell, but it's about his fitness and availability. The season before that, just 9 championship starts, 25 appearances, though, where he got 4 goals in that championship season. The year before that, again, just 14 starts. The season before that one, that was the last time he played a consistent amount of football, really. 38 championship starts in the behind closed doors season, and the season before that, just 22. So he's never really been a player that has played a lot of regular football. He's just not managed a full season, really. Has he ever managed a full season across his career? 15, 16, 3 appearances, 13, 14, 20. He's never managed a full season. So if we sign him on a 1-year contract, for example, because obviously I don't know the length, but I'm assuming it'll be a 1-year deal. If we get 25 games out of him, I think that'll probably be worth it. Any less than that, and I don't think so personally. That's in all competitions as well, my head, not just league games. Another one of my concerns about this signing is Nick Powell has never really been a player which is hard-working, which, buys into a pressing sort of team, and that was, again, another frustration I saw quite a lot of from Stockport fans. They labelled him as a little bit lazy, and in terms of that attacking midfield position, which is where I can only assume that he's going to play, that is arguably the most important position to Graham Alexander's press and the way that we play. So how is he going to fit into that? Now, it might take him a little bit of time to adapt to that, but he's also got to build up to fitness. He's not featured at all for Stockport County this season. He didn't play a single pre-season match either. So is Nick Powell going to be fit enough to come straight into the team? We're going to have to wait a month or so for him to actually get up to speed. I have a lot of question marks about this signing, and a lot of cons right now are outweighing the pros. I think he's a great player when he's available, but the problem is he is never available because he's always injured. But at the same time, I want to trust Bradford City because we're working and operating as a proper football club at the moment. So I'm really torn with my thoughts. Let me know what you think down below. And finally then, if we have a look at how Bradford City's squad is now lining up for the 2025-26 League 1 campaign. As you can see, we're now very stacked in them number 10 positions. Obviously, Nick Powell can also play as a striker, but when you've also got the likes of Tyreek Wright, who can play in their number 10 positions, I wouldn't really include Adam Wilson because obviously we are actively looking to move him on. Will Swan played as a left number 10 a lot in pre-season and didn't do awfully there. You could even play somebody like an Alex Patterson there. Tommy Lee played there last campaign. So there is now a lot of options to play in just 2 positions. And who knows, when Andy Cook comes back from injury, we could maybe go back to the 3-5-2 and you're playing with 2 strikers. You're not really playing with a number 10 then. We've got a lot of midfield options. Surely somebody is going to be leaving. Clark Ador, again, I think there's a good player in Clark Ador, but he's not going to play, and at his age, he needs to go out and play regular first team football. So could we maybe see him go out on loan to a League 2 side? There's a lot of options in there. It causes not a headache for Graham Alexander, but some potential selection issues. But again, we know Sarcevic, he didn't play much football last season. I think just 22 league appearances last campaign. Poynton is quite available all the time. I think he's only had 1 knock in a Bradford City shirt. George Lapsley hasn't had an injury problem with Bradford City, but did a lot at Gillingham. Obviously, there's question marks over Clark Ador's ability. Tyreek Wright, the same question marks as well, although played very well on Tuesday. So there's a lot to ponder. For me, I wouldn't say I'm delighted with this signing, but on paper, I wasn't delighted with Curtis Till, and he's turned out to be a great signing so far. So as always, now that we're operating as a proper football club, I'm going to trust Bradford City and say, let's give him time. Let's see what he produces in a Bradford City shirt. Let's hope that he doesn't get injured. Let's hope we can keep him fit and available. Let's keep this positivity going as a fan base. We've had a great start to the season. even if you don't necessarily think it's a good signing for Bradford City, clearly David Sharp, Graham Alexander and everybody else at the football club do, and they've earned our trust now. So I think we should get behind them on this one. But anyway, I'm going to leave it there then for today's video. If you have enjoyed, please make sure to drop a like on there for me and subscribe to the channel as well. If you are new, can we try and hit 200 likes as I mentioned at the start of today's video? And don't forget to get your thoughts in down in the comment section down below. What are your thoughts on Bradford City signing former Stockport County midfielder Nick Powell on a short-term contract? Thank you all for watching. Have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you very soon for another one.